All right, hello everybody. So here's what's on tap for tonight, and I know ACC, you're the only other person here, and I'll repeat this. I'll even put the link up again. Um, this morning I was thinking about what Woody said the other day, how I hadn't done a whole lot of wrestling coverage really in a while. So I figured, something maybe it's a good time to like kind of open up a forum. I know we had an open forum on Thursday, then we had the comics history show with Backgoat on Friday. I figured though, still let's give it a try because I know one Leto usually is here early on Mondays and could probably participate. Um, but as I was saying, I figured it might be a good idea to just kind of think back to some, pro wrestling memories. You know, um, you know, hey, back out. Ah, hey boy, hey, back out. So did you get my messages over? After I didn't mean to kick you out of the studio the other day. That was an accident. When we were talking, but yeah, I'm gonna put the hey Leto. So now that we got a couple more people in here, let me kind of explain what's going on for today. I I was thinking about it this morning. I was remembering the other day when oh yeah, let's see what that go. Hey, so uh, that's fine. I figured it was an ad. I haven't tried to message you to see if you can come back, but I just figured after a while you probably just went to bed or something like that because I didn't look and didn't see that you were on Nick's stream either, even though he was um talking about Vic. I guess some stuff going on with Vic now. I don't have a StreamYard laugh out loud. Uh, well, all you have to do is just, I guess, sign up. I mean, you don't even want to try the link, see if you can come in. Yeah. So basically, let me just get back to what I was saying. Saying a moment ago. So as you guys know, I had an open forum on Thursday, and then Woody had mentioned that I hadn't covered a whole lot of wrestling, and of course he was right. I hadn't in a while, so I figured, you know, why not do an open forum tonight and see if everybody wants to come in. We can talk about pro wrestling memories. You know, because again, I have part of the reason why I haven't had a lot of coverage is because I haven't been following wrestling as it currently stands right now. I probably will at some point down the road, but I think it would be a good time to try to see if we can get a little panel going, see if anybody wants to join me in studio and talk, maybe talk some wrestling, kind of reminisce about some of, kind of like what we were doing earlier on in the discussion before we kind of went off on other subjects. But anyways, I see Bat has a couple comments here. So I was a little buzzed up with all that beer, so I think I went to bed. Your computer should just take you there. I didn't need to install anything on my laptop. I wish I had more time to prep because I don't have my cam or stuff set up. Yeah, and I know that Toys had mentioned too that he wish I had given him more notice. I actually did try. I went to your your um your YouTube to see if I could find an email address so I could like email you the information earlier, but I couldn't find anything. So I was hoping. Let me try. All right. And here, I'll put the link up again just so you guys have it. Yeah. And look like we have 4 people watching us now. Yay! Maybe the counter. It looks like the counter and the likes are, I guess, kind of fixed because. Uh, and it goes, guys. If you can, don't forget to like and share the stream so we can see if we can get some more people in here. Um, yeah. So, as I said, I figured I'd open it up tonight for a little more, for more of a wrestling discussion. Just you know, as Woody had commented on that. So hear more of his stories from when he was running shows, or even with you guys. If any of you would like to join me, maybe you have some memories growing up. What wrestling shows you watched, or who some of your favorite pro wrestlers were, and all that. So let's see. I'm just the only reason I stopped talking is just because I just figured I'd wait to see if you guys were gonna come, anybody was gonna come in or not. Yeah, so I know I also said I was gonna try to get to my next squared circle calendar for February 1976. That and I meant to, but just got this Saturday. I just kind of like was kind of a lazy day and was gonna try to do it Sunday, but then we have 5 people in here now. It looks like, so that's good. Um, However, I just it was like one of those things where I just ultimately got distracted. I first had to, of course, set up for this week. All right, hey, look who's back! Hey, Dave, we've missed you, man. I am high. Hey, Dave. Hey, guys. Hey, let's make Dave feel welcome. I am here. I am here. Yeah. Okay, we see that, Dave. Welcome back, man. Hey, Dave. Good to see you. Yeah. Decided I like you guys more than I hate YouTube. Well, thank you for coming in, Dave. So this is what we're doing for tonight, Dave. The other night I had an open forum in which Backgoat and Woody joined me, and Woody had made the comment that I hadn't talked much about wrestling in a while, because of course I don't watch current stuff right now, but I do still try to keep up on the older stuff. So what I decided to do this morning when I was thinking about it was I decided to have another open forum for tonight. See if I can get some people in here. We can talk some pro wrestling. Think back to maybe some of your childhood memories of growing up watching wrestling or whatever. Whatever you wanted to share. I was going to try to do a impromptu panel. So I did put the link up earlier, so I'll put it up again just in case you guys want to come in and join me. Let's see, and I know there were. Hey, Dave. Hey, Becco, ATC, saying hi to Becco. Hey, Leto, and I know ATC said hi to Dave as well. ATC said hi to Leto. Bats. That's awesome. Glad you're back. Toys. Action and the toys and the Letos. Carol Dave, Susan has eyes everywhere. Yep. Wojcicki shakes fist. Yeah. So basically, I was hoping, I'm hoping maybe we can somehow, you know, see if we can get some people in here, talk some wrestling, some pro wrestling. Overhead camera shot of Dave in the rain, screaming to the sky. Is Mike's Mike's mic cutting out or just me? Can you hear me, Dave? Can you guys hear me? I know I usually have to wait a few minutes or wait a minute or so to for you guys to. I do. I was a child when I last truly enjoyed professional wrestling. Well, hey, Dave, if you want to, as I said, come into the studio and maybe we can look back to some of those because I know it's changed over the years. Sometimes when he leans really far forward, that happens. I think it's the computer mic's limit. Probably just me. Yeah. Well, aside from that, and aside from my list too, that probably doesn't help things much either. So that probably, um, yeah. So I am shy. Yeah. Well, even on StreamYards though, you can even have it. Granted, I would prefer everybody, of course, show their faces, but um, I know on StreamYard, if you want to just hide behind an avatar and talk through that, you can do that too. I mean, I know you've been on Tug streams enough times to where you've seen people do that. Tug himself does that, and so does Yellow Flash. You know, whereas like Hero Hay and Nick Rekieta, they actually will show their faces. We understand you, Mike. That's all that counts. Okay, that's good to know. I can't even figure that out. Laugh out loud. Leto, did you try to get into the studio? You said you were gonna try to see if you can get in. I clicked the StreamYard link. Okay, and you're yeah, I don't see you coming up though. That toy is a big Hulk Hogan with a pull string. It asks for and you said you don't have your camera set up, right? Taking you to are you having problems connecting up, and nothing happens. Using Edge. Take you. Yep, I remember that too, Dave. I remember that. Kind of funny. Hulk Hogan was real pop. When with the birth of Hulkamania, that Hulk Hogan became a media franchise unto himself. With movies. He even had his own. I don't know if you remember this, Dave, but Hulk Hogan had his own cartoon show called Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling. Connect and turn cam off. You're bypassing cam using a USB. I got my laptop one on now. Yeah, like Toy said, click enter studio. Only have the mic on. If you leave the camera off, we'll just show a character icon, or you can substitute a GIF. JBG, I mean. Kind of funny because I was thinking, because I know Leto, you said that most of the time you don't join, because usually when I do have the panels, usually during the work, but you wouldn't mind coming in, if it was on one of the nights you were off work. So that's another reason why I thought tonight would be a good night. See if I can get you in here. Part of a panel. Oh, great. Somebody came in and gave me a dislike. Yeah, but I didn't get noticed. I didn't get noticed. How about taking a break and getting my elevations, okay? Huh. BRB. All right, let me try. Oh, wait. No. Copy, not paste. Copy. Oh, there we go. Hey,
Hey there, guys. How's it going?
Oh, hey, Toys. Look like you were.
How's everyone doing?
Well, thus far, you and I are the only panelists in here. But I'm fine. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I had to clean my desk and get some beer, so I was like,
Yeah. All right. So, anyways, hopefully the other guys can. Here we go. Oh, it looks like Leto's gonna join us.
Oh God.
Hey, Leto. Hey,
Hello there,
Leto.
Leto. How you doing?
Hello.
That was ATC right there.
How are you guys doing today?
All right. How about yourself?
Oh, great, great.
I'm doing
Actually,
pretty good.
it's been a tough day, but I'll get over it. I'll get
Yeah,
over it. Actually.
I noticed
Hmm.
you didn't I noticed you didn't stream today because you
Uh,
normally stream it like you stream it like every almost you stream like on
during the
Mondays.
weekday, yeah.
Hmm.
But not today. I was just tired.
Yeah, I
I
noticed
was
you didn't stream
tired.
today. So, oh, you were tired.
Yeah.
It is now
Didn't your
Taco
wife come
Tuesday,
home the
according to
other
me.
day?
What's that?
Your wife came home the Sunday, I thought you said, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. She actually came home on was it Friday? So she's
Oh.
back at work. Yeah, she's actually back at work, and I went I went to her part time, and it was a pretty good day. But then I lost the keys, and then just anxiety ensued, and it was just terribleness all around. And the
It
keys,
sounds like it's just one of those days where anything that can go wrong did go wrong. Right,
yeah,
right there, Leto.
I'm not talking about the keys for for that house. I'm talking about the keys for like the store that she worked at.
No. Yeah.
I was
Wait,
just
you
I'm
you
laughing
actually
with you,
need
Leto.
keys to get into the store she works at?
yeah. I lost the keys that for the store she works at. I was like, oh my god! I had already drive home, and then I had to drive back, and this is like probably about 45-minute drive, and it was just terrible. And then when I got there, I lost even more keys trying to find the keys. I was just like, this is getting ridiculous.
Sweet.
Eh,
Toys, I saw the tweet. Back goes saying, Toys, I saw the tweet. Very cool. All right. So,
But go on.
as
How are you guys doing?
oh, I'm fine. I mean, I had it started off with kind of a bit of a busy day, running around a bit. And as I was out running some errands, I was thinking about what Woody said the other day when he was here, when we did the panel on Thursday, and I was thinking about um yeah, I haven't really done a lot of wrestling. Partly it's partly due to the fact I don't follow the current wrestling going on right now. You know, so aside from, of course, if somebody passes away or something, like a legend passes away or something like that, or of course the history stuff. But I haven't really done a whole lot on wrestling coverage of late. Um,
I haven't seen wrestling since like the was it the WCW and WWF era.
yeah, back in the '90s.
Yeah,
I figure that's pretty much all of us. I think for the most part, nobody here I think is really watching anything current right now. But I
no,
know like Woody in particular likes to talk a lot about the older stuff. I have too. Just opportunities, of course, haven't really presented themselves to do so. So I figured, why not make the opportunity? I figured
yeah.
tonight would be, and I know that you've said before, Leto, that you wouldn't mind coming in on a panel, as on one of the days on. I don't know if it's Monday and Tuesday, or Monday and
Yeah.
Tuesday or whatever. But I figured today might be a good day to open up the studio, let you guys in, and see who might want to join me to talk about old wrestling. You know, you know.
Yeah, I just wish I had more to add to the table. I'm just not a wrestling fan now.
Well, that's okay because
Yeah.
we're probably not going to talk as much about stuff going on now. It's more, as I said, the whole point was pro wrestling memories. Because
Oh,
I was thinking if Woody was here, he would probably be telling us about like when he went to some of the, I guess, the WCW shows in the early '90s. So, and
right.
then I could comment on that. I know you'd probably comment on that as well, and but there's probably other stuff that depending. Basically, I had an idea for what we were talking about, and just figure, well, start the conversation, and then see where it goes from there. That's basically. Anyway, we actually do have some comments that came down here, so let's see.
Oh, I see
And
Dave. How's it going, Dave?
yeah, yeah, Dave came back to
Baseball
us.
guy.
Oh, dude, no. That happens more often than you think. Smart people have spares.
But
Oh,
what
the
if you lose
key.
the spares to your spare?
Yeah, I'm very stupid. Then laugh out loud.
I've done that.
One
That
car key
that
is
was
a
me
bad
today.
idea. I've only 10 years to make a new one. Okay, why? Oh wait. Okay. No. I know now that it's public. I better do something about it. Woody has cool wrestling stories. He saw so much small wrestling shows. Yeah, I mean, the independents are pretty good at times. Leto from Dave there. So,
Hey, Dave.
excuse me for a moment, guys. I'm going to go off camera for a quick sec. I'll be right back.
By the way, Dave, thank you for introducing me to Mines. That's an awesome application.
All right, I'm back. So,
You make any money on it yet?
Oh, not making money on it. I'm just it's a good platform to show off my other YouTube or Twitter.
ATC, you wrote a comment here. Would you like to read it for everybody?
It says Woody has awesome stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where is Woody? He's just not here today.
I guess he just didn't come in. And he's the one who kind of sparked this idea, too. That's the ironic thing.
Bastard.
Yeah. But, yeah, so let's see. So where can we go with this? I know that toys, you're up there, you're of course up there in Kitchener, kind of Ontario area. I don't know if you're in Kitchener or Toronto. Leto,
I
you're in.
am. Oh,
I'm in
I am.
Texas.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, go on.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say I'm close. I'm in between Brantford and Hamilton, Ontario. That's an hour and 10-minute drive from where Kitchener Comic Con happens.
Okay. And then Leto, I know you're from Texas, right?
Yeah, Houston, Texas. Yeah.
Okay, Houston, Texas. Okay. So at least let's see. There's some more comments that came in here. Mine is cool because of Ian Crossan. Okay.
I don't even know who
I
that is.
I don't
Me
either.
neither.
Pitch time.
He's taking a nap on the couch. That's awesome.
Is what's up. I would have had hundreds of dollars if I hadn't spent my Minds token like funny money.
You are. You just gave me like 5 tokens the other day.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
really nice to him. I was so surprised.
Oh, did he do the same to you?
Yeah. So
What's that?
I said, did he do the same to you?
Yeah. That was nice.
Dang.
Those are worth $5. No, $5 a token. $5.20 a token right now in Canadian. So I was happy with that. That was really nice of him.
Yeah, damn, Dave. Damn, Dave, you're doing such a good work.
Hey, Dave, I guess you caused a pitch fest here. They're pitching Minds on here.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So, what are you guys' favorite wrestler from back in the day?
Well, my all-time favorite was Sting. I was a huge Sting. Okay, so in baseball they have the idea. I think it was Tommy Lasorda who put it. Who said that there's the idea of the 5-point player in baseball, a guy who could hit for average, hit for power, run, throw, and defend, basically. Sting was kind of that guy in professional wrestling for me. In other words, he could do a little bit of. He was a great technician. Had the Scorpion Deathlock as his finisher. He could fight you. He could wrestle you on the mat, or he could take to the air. He he was powerful. He could like do press slams and do all kinds of power moves, but he was also very athletic, very quick. He could 1 minute he could press slam you, and the next minute hit you with a drop kick.
Now
And
the
the next,
only go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, he was kind of like that kind of guy, and that's what impressed me about him, And he had the charisma too. I mean, he was, he had the charisma, and that's what made him, kind of a main eventer, as he was initially pushed by Dusty Rhodes in the late '80s there when he was still a booker, in WCW before he left for the WWF for 1 year and then came back and you know so Sting was my all-time favorite just because he kind of he could do just about anything and everything in that ring. So
I just remember Sting from the WCW days where he was just painted like the Crow.
oh, so you remember the Crow Sting that came later? Yeah,
yeah, where he was just.
Sting. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead. Who's talking?
I think ATC started to say something there, so I was going to give him a chance.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I just remember him painted as a Crow, and he was just not talking for like a whole year for some reason.
Yeah, and then he'd come into the ring usually by repelling in, and then hit the guy with a reverse DDT.
Yeah.
Come up from behind, grab him by the back of the head, and just kind of drop him like with what they call a reverse DDT right there.
Yeah, I just thought that was pretty cool and mysterious, but then it got old pretty fast. Well, for me, anyways.
Yeah. Well, before the whole NWO thing and stuff like that, because Sting had essentially been with WCW since WCW bought out Bill Watts Mid South there or the UWF, and basically all the UWF talent got absorbed into WCW when it was still an NWA affiliate. So Sting, let's see, some other guys like Ron Simmons is another guy who is part of all that, But before he took on the Crow persona, you go back and see some of his stuff and they were pushing him, throughout '88. What ended up happening is they ended up pushing him in part because he ended up taking the spot that was originally meant for Magnum TA.
Mm-hmm.
They were pushing Magnum TA back in the mid '80s there, but in '86 he got into that car accident, which effectively ended his career. And then for a while there, they were pushing. They had Nikita Koloff, who was a part of the Russian teams with his with his kayfabe uncle Ivan and Crusher Khrushchev. Well, Crusher Khrushchev by this point had moved on to the WWE, was smashed at that point. But they were pushing him for a while in that spot, and then eventually, starting in '88, they started really push Sting. And Sting, of course, they slowly built him up. And like I think it was in '89, he would beat Muta for the WCW World Television Championship, and then he'd slowly move up, and eventually he was get. I mean, he was actually at the first Clash of Champions. I think it was in '88. He actually challenged Ric Flair for the NWA World Championship, and they went to a draw there, which of course would lead into their legendary rivalry in the '80s and '90s. Culminating, of course, in one of their last matches on the final Monday Night Raw. So
let me see. Let me think who was my favorite wrestler since I asked you that. I guess my favorite wrestler would probably be, I want to say, Rey Mysterio.
Oh yes, yeah. Rey Mysterio is probably going to, granted, he's going to, even though I know WWE really pushed him as a heavyweight, but he's probably going to be considered one of the all-time best wrestling welter to middleweight because, he like now very early on in his career, he would have been considered a lightweight. Now, when he first came into professional wrestling, when he was still wrestling down in Mexico, in Mexico, in Mexican professional wrestling, they actually have weight classes. So they actually have like a lightweight division, a welterweight division, middleweight, all that. Okay, Rey
He started.
Mysterio, I think.
He
Oh, go
started
ahead.
that. No, he started in Mexico. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was trained by his uncle Rey Mysterio Senior. Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay.
he started in Mexico, okay, and took on more the lucha libre style, and where you had more of the high flying stuff going on. Um, but he again, he's kind of a small guy. He's like, I think what 5'6", 5'7", maybe as short as 5'4". But he was like early on, he came in at 150, and then eventually, by the time he was in the WWE, was wrestling at a weight of 175. You know, and with everything he could do, doing hurricanranas and all that. Um,
Yeah, he was great.
yeah, and he would have been considered a one of, but when he came to the WWE, of course, WWE never really got into really. I mean, there were points they tried a couple times the light heavyweight division and the cruiserweight division when they brought the cruiserweight title from WCW into the WWE, but Vince McMahon's never been a huge fan of the smaller guys. It's always the 6'3", 250 and up guys that he wants. The bigger guys.
Yeah,
Because see, that
I just followed him since the WCW onto the WWF, and I, was it a couple of weeks ago? I actually saw him trending where they were saying Rey Mysterio unmasked. I'm like, haven't they seen him in WCW days where he wasn't wearing a mask for a long
yeah.
while? Yeah,
Let me get some of these chats. Okay,
go
five
ahead.
tokens was $15 USD at the time. So, um, Cactus
Wow, nice.
Jack in all his weird iteration. Yeah, Dave, it's kind of funny you mentioned that because that's Woody's favorite guy too, Cactus Jack, and I like Cactus
Mm-hmm.
Jack too. Now Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, Cactus Jack was one persona, dude loves another. You know, of course, Mankind. He's had a number of. I mean, now get this: when Foley first came into professional wrestling, right, which was back I think in '85 or '86, he initially started out as enhancement talent in the WWF, and he just simply went by the name Jack Foley. You know,
Mm.
enhancement talent meaning he was a jobber. So now they're worth a lot more. Oh no! Laugh out loud. Mr. Sacco, no! Yeah, having a sock stuck in your mouth. Now, just in, just in case, now the Mandible Claw was an actual movie developed, but he would, of course, use either that hand guard,
Mhm.
as Mankind or later Sacco. But basically, this is what it looks like, and I'm gonna see if I can try to show you guys this. So this is basically what the grip actually looked like. So you stick your middle and your ring finger along the guy's tongue as you grip down with the index and the pinky. That's basically what the mandible claw is right there. Okay.
No thanks.
And I guess the idea of having a guy's hand in your mouth like that's supposed to like it's almost like a nerve hold.
Yeah, it's kind of lewd sometimes.
Yeah. Let's see. Not gold glittery string. Let's see. Sweet day. Oh, actually, I should let you read that one because that's a comment you wrote.
Sweet, Dave.
And Dave responds, Rey Mysterio did the high flying set. Yeah, and in WC now it's funny. Even before going to WCW, he and Psychosis were. I mean, part of the reason he got signed, what got him noticed by WCW, was the work he and Psychosis were doing in ECW just prior, like over the year prior to him signing with WCW. He and Psychosis were having a series of matches showcasing the lucha libre style in ECW as well. You know,
that I didn't know.
yeah. So yeah, well, ECW was kind of acting more like having not just a hardcore style, but they were bringing in all the different. I mean, let's see. Aside from their feud, another kind of three-way feud that was going on over there, over the television title was between Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, and Too Cold Scorpio. Those three were kind of trading the ECW World Television title back and forth there for a while, and they had some great matches between the three of them. You know, in series, particularly Eddie and Dean in a series of singles matches. Let's see. Batgoat saying, I just brought up an article showing that wrestling rings do have a spring platform under them. Sorry, Mike. Do you want the link? There's a picture and everything. Well, maybe that's true now. Batgoat. Now, let me ask you: where's that ring? Where are they saying that ring is from? Are they saying that ring is from like? Is it like a WWE ring? Is it like ROH? Is it because I think most independents still don't have like a springboard, as it were. They still like a lot of the independents would. Maybe the WWE decided to bring one in as you know,
For
but
safety, yeah.
for safety, but an article. Tight foam, plywood, and spring. Yeah, I mean that's not traditionally though how that all works from what I have always understood. It was a reverse. Oh,
That's a good one, Action Toys.
Yeah.
ATC, you want to read that?
The mandible claw was a reverse shocker.
Yeah. Well, like the mano claw, the and iron claw, which is basically which was kind of which of course the Von Erichs were known for as well, and I think Blackjack Lanza did it as well. The iron claw, you take your hand like this, you apply it to pressure points on your head, and just squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
Squeeze the temple, squeeze pressure points along the forehead and stuff. So those were moves that were designed to knock you out, laugh out loud, and back up. WWE ring weapons must so if it's a WWE, they may have
Of course.
it may be a change in design for modern times. There, back up. Check it out. Looks legit to me. I probably will when I get a chance. Here, let me see if I can copy that
They're probably
link.
trying to avoid every kind of lawsuit.
Well, especially with the yeah, open. I'm gonna open that in a new tab. Let me see. Let me see this real quick here.
Did any of you guys hear about I guess like Vince McMahon I guess not allowing the talent to have like Twitch streams or YouTube channels?
Actually, I did. That was a story about a mother. Six. So the article is titled Six Secrets of the WWE Ring and Weapons You Must Know About." Okay, so this this article is pertaining again. This may okay. I don't see now from that angle. I don't see any string. Now a lot of that stuff like plywood. Yeah, there's always been plywood in most wrestling rings, but
Mm,
as but the general idea back go to what I was talking about the other day was most people think that wrestling rings are nothing more than just a trampoline, and it's not. That's where I was going with it. You know, um, most people think that wrestling rings are just in there and they're just you know it's just like one big trampoline or something, and that's not the case. Okay, it's canvas. There is plywood in it. There is some rigging, but um, But and again, this also may just be more recent. Okay, let's see. Ever wondered what a WWE ring is made of and how they come up with the weapons? Yeah, so tables and other weapons. Let's see, turnbuckles and ring posts, ropes. Yeah, I do like the rope. The ropes, for example, are I think they're like cable. They're cable with like some kind of padding over them. They're
Hmm.
you know they do have some give, but not a lot. In other words, um, but for the most part, the general misconception is most people think it's like one big trampoline, and it's not. It's not a trampoline. So here's part about the ring here. So let's see what they're saying. Let's start off with the basics, shall we? The wrestling ring is made of an extremely high foam cover. Um, this thin foam is the top layer of the ring. In other words, what you normally see when you look at the ring is what I think what they're talking about there. Um, ring mat, um, and below this is a 1 inch piece of plywood. Again, probably to give it some like sturdiness to where you're not just flopping around on foam. But there comes then comes the most important part of the ring, the springs. The suspension springs um, are placed just below the plywood. Um, these springs respond according to the weight on top. Yeah, but I honestly don't. I believe if they do have springs, the springs were more recent addition. Okay, but the point though I was getting at with it when I made the comment is that most people when they um when they think of the ring, they think it's just like some big, like bouncing around on a track. Like I'm sure you. I don't know. You guys may have had this too, where you had one of those trampolines you'd put in your backyard and you just jump around on it, right?
Yeah,
Did you guys ever jump around on one of those? That's what most people think a wrestling ring is.
I
That
could.
it's just like jumping around like on some trampoline, and it's not. The guys get hurt. You see that the guys get hurt, and you're talking about guys taking leaps from, top, depending on, where you're leaping from, whether it's a top turnbuckle or, a steel cage. And you're talking about taking like 15 to 20 feet leaps on, even though it's foam, even though they say it's like foam and you're still going to get hurt.
Mm.
It's not like bouncing around on a trampoline. You're still gonna get hurt. The guys do. I've been in a ring now. It was more on an independent show that was based out here in Southern California.
I was about to say, you wrestle?
No, I never actually wrestled. Okay, I thought about it, but like one time, let's see, one time back in the '90s, I was looking to get into it, but they were even saying that probably wouldn't be a good idea for me to do it because with my eyesight and stuff, maybe I couldn't actually, like they were worried that maybe I couldn't do a drop kick or something like that.
You would have been perfect.
Oh
Huh?
yeah.
Yeah, you would have been the next Mick Foley.
But yeah, ring is number 6. Yeah, I read that. So it was more plywood before. Yeah, it's more, more plywood. Um, let's see. Um, I've seen them go under and grab chairs, and there's the tombstone. He put him through the ring. Yeah, yeah. They say it's 4 feet up, so there's space under there. Sounds like a box spring to me. Um, yeah, and but not all organizations have their rings that high either. Like the independent type, like older shows would not have had springs. Okay, they would have had the plywood. They would have had some of the maybe they would have had a canvas. That's what they would have had more traditionally. But as I was saying, most people when they think of a wrestling ring, they just think it's like just some trampoline that they're bouncing around on, and it's not.
Yeah. I mean, like back then, like what was his name? He fell off he fell onto the stage and he died. What's his name? Odin Hart.
Owen
Owen
Hart.
Hart,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Well, he didn't even hit the ring. He was trying. He was basically trying to do what Sting was doing at the time too.
He fell short.
And Shawn Michaels did it as well. Where they were rappelling from the roof. And the thing was, Owen Hart was not a big fan of that apparently,
no
and yet
shit.
they kind of convinced him to do it anyways. And so what ended up happening is the harness apparently came loose. It wasn't secure on him, and that's when he fell. And that was an even bigger fall than a lot of the guys take from like top of the key. Like from what I understand, like when Jimmy Superfly Snuka did his initial Superfly leap back in '82 from the cage onto Don Morocco,
Oh, that
that
was
that
great.
yeah that was the thing that actually inspired Mick Foley. Okay, that from what I understand was something like from what I understand, I think it was an 18 to 20 foot leap. Okay, so I mean, and back then there were no springs. Okay, I'm sorry, but there were no springs. It was plywood, and you know
Did
there
he even
wasn't
fall?
much.
I mean, did Owen Hart even fall on the ring, or was it
No,
out?
he fell outside the ring.
Oh shit. Okay, that sucks.
That was why I give that little quip. He fell short.
Oh yeah, I gotcha.
So well that goat just is that the quick release failed always that the quick release, yeah. So um but yeah, but that's basically what happened with Owen. I mean, and that wasn't even per se. Now there have been guys who died in the ring, either from guys who died in the ring, guys who suffered serious injury in the ring. Um, let's see, I know like Ted DiBiase's father, Mike DiBiase, right? Iron Mike DiBiase. He had a heart attack in the ring.
Hmm.
Okay. Another example, Ray Gunkel, who was a wrestler back in the 60s, 50s, 60s, and early 70s. He actually died in the ring. But what happened in his case was, and this is what gave the Heart Punch its reputation. There was a wrestler by the name of Ox Baker who was known for utilizing a move called the Heart Punch, which very simply was just a punch directly to the heart.
Hmm.
I agree,
And
Dave.
huh?
Oh, I was agreeing with Dave what he said.
Oh yeah.
Dave
What's he
said it
saying?
would. He said it would suck to get tossed around on a sheet of plywood with minimal cushioning. I was like, yeah, that would really
Yeah.
suck.
And the guys they do go through considerable training, learning how to like take falls and stuff. You know, but you're still taking, as Dave put it, you're still taking falls on mostly plywood with limited cushion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now they may have, as I said, maybe because of some of the injury issues that have come up over the years. And plus, one of the other things about the WWE and a few other organizations out there, some of the quote unquote worldwide organizations, is that these guys are doing this, like independent promotions will maybe run 1 or 2 shows a month, 1 or 2 weekends a month. That's what most independent shows will do. Okay.
I remember that bad goat, the backyard wrestling.
Yeah,
Bum
but
fight.
yeah,
I used
those
to watch those
backyard
all the
wrestling
time.
kids land on some crazy stuff. Yeah.
I think they were some of the first ones to hit people over like fluorescent lights.
Well, actually, no. Hardcore wrestling got its start over in Japan, actually, back in the late '80s.
Already, okay.
Yeah, frontier martial arts wrestling. That's actually where Mick Foley further developed his hardcore character of Cactus
Mm,
Jack over
cool.
in Japan, and and even to this day, ever since from the get go. Now, All Japan and New
Hey,
Japan.
Solid, how's it going? Sorry, Solid's here.
Hey there,
Yeah, I
solid
see.
man.
I now see that. Hey there, Little. Yeah. Hey,
Or,
Solid.
or as I
Is your
type it,
hey
hello
Solid?
there too.
Does your channel keep getting yeeted or something? Because I noticed I guess you were unsubscribed to me, but then you subscribed again, and then I noticed you hadn't been around much less. Is your channel getting yeeted or something? They would make world's dumbest videos all the time. Yeah. Well, it's kind of hey Solid, and what's kind of funny about it too is that the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, they actually started their own long before they signed with the WWF at the time. They actually were running their own wrestling promotion called Omega Pro. They,
Mm,
along with Shannon Moore and I think Shane Helms as well, they were all basically in their own wrestling promotion. Let's see. Solid just replied me. No, my channel's still up. Yeah, but somehow I guess you unsubscribed and subscribed back.
Well,
Or so.
Mike, you gotta remember that YouTube is weird because you could end up attaining like up to 500 or more subs, and then suddenly you're back down to 200 or something like
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I
that.
know Flash has talked about that too.
Yeah.
damn,
Flash is
sorry, toys. All right.
I'm still a little salty. I took a week off because of that. I
Oh
was
no,
like,
I
oh,
bet that's a good reason though.
yeah. I was like, oh.
well. I've been staying at like 110 subs for a while now. So I mean, yeah, and then I guess that goes saying the same thing you just said. YouTube does that, Mike. Yeah, I know. I am aware of it. Because I know Flash is top Flash. I mean, even on his videos, he still says, "Yeah, YouTube is kind of screwy that way." I get that. But on a more positive note tonight, the counter seems to be more accurate tonight. Is it's saying I have 5 viewers, and I think I do indeed have 5 viewers. Of course, I still have the one dislike from earlier.
Ah,
And if you
It's all
guys
good,
can't,
like and dislike. It's all good for the algorithm, apparently.
yeah.
yeah. Well, 6 people are watching now. That's cool. I
That's
got
good.
2 likes and one dislike. So, you guys,
Oh,
if
I
you
haven't like.
haven't liked the stream already, if you guys can do that and see if we can help get the algorithms out there, that'd be appreciated.
I'm gonna hit
Um,
unlike just for fun. Not just joking.
I've been unsubbed from a few channels. It's weird when it's a channel that I actively watch. Yeah. So, yeah. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, hardcore wrestling. But anyways, in Japan, there what they call puroresu. That's the Japanese word for pro wrestling there. Um, all Japan, which was originally founded by Shohei Giant Baba, and then New Japan, which was originally founded by Antonio Inoki. They were always night in, night out wrestling. They would be, if there are 365 days here, they'd be wrestling like 300, 325 of those. Now, in Japan, though, of course, even to this day, they still, those two companies in particular, still have, touring series. Whereas, even though the WEF does a tour, each show is a standalone. It's like, you know, WWE wrestling in like Harrisburg, and then the next night in Philadelphia, this, that, next thing. But Japan, they have like touring series. Like most notably, of course, in All Japan, their two big touring series are the Champion Carnival in the spring, and then the Real World Tag League at the end of the year. And then in New Japan they have the G1 Climax now, which grew out of the old World League, and of course a lot of this stuff grew out of the old Japanese Wrestling Association. About solid Karens everywhere. Yeah. So I'm sorry. I should have let you read that. Actually, that just kind of. Yeah. So.
I just want to answer Little's question from way back. He asked about WWE basically attacking their talent and taking away their ability to gain a livelihood outside of the WWE, and I was like, yeah, they changed their contracts without notice, and they now require their talent to fork over any money they get. So yeah, it's like modern day slavery. That's how the WWE is treating their talent. So there you go.
Yikes! I noticed some are still keeping their streams up. Like,
Yeah.
what is that? There's like a wrestler that does video games on YouTube. I'm pretty sure he has to fork up a lot of money to Vince McMahon for that.
Yeah. I just tell him, you know what? You change the contract without my permission. This is something that both our lawyers are supposed to do. You know what? If that's the way you want to be, I decide I'm not going to renew my contract, and then goodbye. And I'll still make lots of money, and I'll make a living outside of that because I already have a fandom.
If the guy still there are options now. If the guy wants to be, still in the business of pro wrestling, because now you got, of course, All Elite Wrestling, you got Ring of Honor, and you got Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
If they still want to be in the wrestling business, they can go to one of those companies.
Yeah, but sometimes I think when you sign a contract with the WWF, they have like a
non-compete.
No, well, is it like you have to have a break of a year and then start your new venture and another company, I guess. Mm-hmm. But you can't do anything for like a year.
Usually, but that's been a standard in wrestling contracts for a long time, at least since wrestling went national in the 80s. Okay?
Still sucks.
It does suck. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There is like I think like a 30-day or 60-day no compete clause or something like that.
Mm.
Prior to the WWF's expansion in the 80s when they went national, it wasn't as big a deal because the NWA pretty much controlled everything with the exception of the AWA, and basically guys were regularly going from one territory to another. I mean, you may spend a few months in one territory and then move on to another. It's like,
yeah, but back in
go ahead.
But back in the day, the territory thing, they all had an agreement, right? You don't poach talent from anybody else, and right. WWE is the McMahons are the one group that didn't do that, and they just poached all the top talent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Vince Jr. was really the one who who really tried to push to make, to build what we know of today as the WWE has a very what we know of today is now the WWE. They've had quite a long history. They were at one point a part of on two different occasions, in fact, they were a part of the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance. Okay. Mm-hmm. They started out as Capital Wrestling Corporation. They were a territory that was based primarily in the Northeast. So their territory originally was the New England area, New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. That was pretty much the WWE's original territory, okay, as Capital Wrestling, and as I think even as far south as Washington, D.C., okay, as far south as Washington, D.C.
I just saw the side of Ratio's post. This is the first time I've heard Big Daddy's Toys. I just saw his name. He called himself Big Daddy Toys. That's cocky.
Well, like Big Daddy Cool Diesel, right?
Yeah, I was going for the wrestling theme.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Big
It's like
Daddy
Big
Cool
Daddy
Diesel
Toys.
right there. Yeah,
Shit, maybe I should change my name too.
yeah. So yeah, so originally it started out as Capital Wrestling Corporation, and then there was the whole title schism in 1963. So eventually, what ended up happening is they put the title on Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. I think sometime in 61 or 62. And now, as per now, and I probably explained this the other night too. So in the NWA, if you were booked to become the NWA, if they said, okay, we're going to put the title on you, we're going to put the big gold belt on you, okay, the person who would be getting the belt would have to fork over a $25,000 security deposit. That was basically their guarantee that they would return, when it was time to let somebody else be a champion, where they wanted to book somebody else as a champion, um then they'd get their money back. They'd get that 25,000. They that was kind of the NWA's insurance on the belt, basically, that they'd get it back. That they wouldn't try to like do what Ric Flair did in '91 or something to that effect. Um,
Took
you
off with the
know,
belt.
yeah. Um, now what happened in '63 was, so Buddy Rogers, of course, his home territory at the time was in the Northeast. He was, basically the headliner for Vince McMahon Sr. and Toots Mont. Okay, so they put the title on Rogers, but the problem was is that, and I think this is more Mont than Vince Senior.
Mm.
Vince Senior was considered more of a like honest, more respected in, but it was Mont that was more into this. But basically, they kept, now when you were the NWA champion back then, you weren't limited to just one territory. You were basically on tour throughout the whole NWA. So you might have a show. Let's say you might have two or three shows in in the Northeast. Like you might have two or three shows in the Northeast. Then you'd have to go up to Canada. You'd have to defend the belt like in Montreal, and then go over to Maple Leaf Wrestling, and you'd basically be touring around the country, basically. You weren't stuck in one territory. Okay. Well, what was happening was that the two, I guess this is more on Toots than on Vince Senior, but basically they were saying, well, no, we're not going to let him out of the area. No, he's not going to go defend his title in St. Louis, or we don't care. He's going to defend his title only in our territory. We're going to say, we're going to say that we have the world champion. And so what they ended up doing is they ended up having, now Buddy Rogers eventually did drop the title back to Thess because he didn't want to lose that $25,000. And so ended up happening there is that the Capital Wrestling ended up leaving the NWA and becoming the Worldwide Wrestling Federation. They basically named Buddy Rogers. They were still billing him as the world champion, as their world champion. And of course, his first title match was Bruno Sammartino. And, so they split off from the NWA in '63. And then Toot Mont left the WWF in '65. And then they kind of quietly went back into the NWA in '71, dropping the world title recognition and just simply calling it the WWF Heavyweight Championship. And then, of course, in '79 they cut out one of the W's, become the WWF and then they left the NWA once more for good in '83. This time with Vince McMahon Jr. the Vince McMahon that we're all more familiar with. Okay, the quote unquote genetic jackhammer. You know, he left in '83. He actually got Moolah to bring the women's title with him because at the time the four main titles that the NWA board controlled was the world heavyweight, the world junior heavyweight, the world women's, and the world women's tag team championship. Now Moolah had basically owned the belt. She had basically bought and owned the belt, so she could bring it, but she decided to sell the belt to the WWE and then started defending it as the WWF World Women's Championship. So there's some history for you. I don't know if I like got you guys head spinning or not.
You do.
Yeah, there's a lot to take in there. So,
Yeah.
Batgoat saying, getting some text messages from my boy. He's been activated for his mobile field force team, with which means riot squad. Oh, yeah, your son's a police officer, right? I feel kind of nauseous. My daughter is worried sick too. Yeah. Um, he's in West St. Yeah, with all the rioting going on over that police shooting. Not that we really want to get into it here, but we want to try to focus on more positive things. He's in West St. Paul right now, but if there's a help call, he's the first to go. Brooklyn Park. Yeah. Well, hopefully everything works out, Becco. If you can,
Yep.
try to just try not to let it get to you too much. Hopefully, I understand though that it can be kind of stressing with what's going on there and stuff. But just hopefully we can be. Hopefully, let's not try not to think about what can happen or what bad things can happen too much. We dwell on that too much, and then we fall right into the pit with everybody else. So, Leto, this is you replied here, so I'm going to let you hit
Oh.
this.
No, I've seen a picture of his son. He looks bigger than he is, so he's a strong dude. Yeah, he'll be fine. I
Well,
think.
you want to read your comment that you
Oh no,
posted here?
that's pretty much what I said. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then Toys, you said something here.
I said, "Be strong, Batgoat.
Mm-hmm. And
I'll pray for your boy."
all right. Batgoat says thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah. And then Leto, did you want to read this or?
Oh no, okay, all right. I seen your son built like a 16 wheeler. He's a strong guy. Hopefully, he'll scare those cowards before they do anything stupid.
And then you had a follow up here
We getting schooled by Mike with the
on some
wrestling.
wrestling history
Yeah.
there. Yeah, and long before there were pay per views, okay, WWF back in the 70s, early 80s had some pretty good shows at Madison Square Garden too. So, in fact, I was just watching one a week ago, a little over a week ago, from March 1st, 1976. Bruno Sammartino defending the WWF title against Ernie Ladd. So, among other things. In fact, it's kind of funny because March 1st, 76, that was actually technically Ric Flair's, I think, first appearance with the WWF long before he came over in 91, 92. So, thanks, Leto. He's a big, dumb farm boy. So,
He's not dumb. He's smarter than those folk.
he's not dumb either. The kid graduated college. I'm just jealous, laugh out loud. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, yeah. So that's a bit of wrestling. I mean, and if you guys know, even when I do my niche history for wrestling, I do it from 49 on because 49 is actually when the National Wrestling Alliance was founded. and so I consider everything 1949 and to the present kind of like NWA era, even though we've gotten to a point where NWA isn't as big an influence now as it used to be. So, oh yeah, so and I know I mentioned this to you before, toys to ATC as well. Um, Up in your neck of the woods in the throughout the night from '93 through into the 2000s, there was an organization called Border City Wrestling, and one of the guys I've told you about before, P.D. Williams, he wrestled for them. P.D. Williams is the guy I told you about who did that flipping pile driver, the
Oh,
Canadian.
yeah. Yeah.
He was the one who
Oh,
originated that.
one second. One second. One second.
Yeah.
It
So
sounds like he's 3D printing something, isn't it?
what? Oh,
Hi.
well, is that Jeremiah?
Yes, it is.
Hello, Jeremiah.
Hey,
Leto says
Jeremiah.
hello, Jeremiah. Mike says hello, Jeremiah.
Hi.
So what? Did you decide to join your dad in the studio with us tonight?
No, I'm wearing my noise canceling headset, so I didn't even hear him, and he come up and he give me a big old hug, and he
Oh, that's
spooked
nice.
me. Yeah, he spooked me good. He got me. I can't argue with it. So.
Yeah.
Did you make him scream like a little girl?
No, you got a from me. That was it.
Oh,
No
just a
more.
gasp. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys. Do you guys have any memories about going to events? You know, actually going to an event, like to an arena show that you'd like to share?
I think I saw like a midget wrestling event. That's about it. It was like it was like a Mexican match at some kind of flea market. It was like
Yeah.
these midget wrestlers in mask, and they were just fighting against each other. But that's the only thing I remember. Everything else was through the TV.
Yeah. What about you, Action Toys, ATC?
I'll be honest. Everything was through the TV as well, so
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. So I've had
I mean,
offers to go,
TV
but
was pretty good, and you know, and of course, as I said, Toronto has been kind of a hotbed over the. I mean, the Tunnies, now Jack Tunney, who would eventually become who served as WWF president from '84 to '95 after the WWF bought up the Maple Leaf territory there. Um, Maple Leaf Gardens was quite a hot spot for professional wrestling. It was basically the main home for Maple Leaf Wrestling. And then after, of course, WWF bought it. WWF had started having shows at the Maple Leaf Garden, and then some promotions like I said, Border City Wrestling started. I think another one, Northern Championship Wrestling, was also may have been based out of there as well. But some of the guys from Border City Wrestling, some of the guys who wrestled Border City Wrestling would go on to wrestle on Impact, including, as I said, P.D. Williams is one of them. Bobby Roode, Scott D'Amore was the one who was leading the Canadian faction at Impact. He was actually the actual promoter from BCW. Scott D'Amore. So, yeah. And then of course, Leto, your neck of the woods, Houston. There was actually a guy by the name of Paul Bosch who was a legend in your area. He was kind of a semi-independent, loosely affiliated NWA guy.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have any actual championships, but a lot of guys would go to his shows. It was simply called Houston Wrestling. And those were pretty well known too. And you'd have particularly a lot of guys from Fritz von Erich's big time wrestling at the time, and the Western States wrestlers from the Funks going over there and wrestling on those shows. And then later the Mid South guys would go there as well. So
I don't know. Sounds like before my time. I
yeah,
started
it was.
I
It
started
was
getting into wrestling like around like late '90s.
okay. Yeah, yeah. So then some of the NWA territories that you would have probably seen would have been like NWA Southwest, NWA Houston, and I think a guy who would later be on Impact, on TNA Impact, Hernandez. The guy who was known as Hernandez in Impact. He got his start in the Houston area, wrestling for NWA Southwest um, as Hot Stuff Hernandez. Oh.
That go.
I've always wanted to see a midget wrestling match. Well, I mean, just look. I mean, you could go back to watch WrestleMania 1 because there was a mixed, there was that. Actually, no, I think it was actually WrestleMania 2. It might have been, but where Hillbilly Jim teamed with one pair of midgets and King Kong Bundy teamed with another pair of midgets.
I think they got getting caught like little people now.
Okay. Don't forget Hornswoggle, Vincent Mann's illegitimate son.
Oh yeah, right. I totally forgot about that.
We're at so Dave just said we're at endearing fatherly hours tonight, boys. Boyos. Backo used your real name there, Toys. Thanks, Eric. I mean it.
Yeah, that was a nice little prayer.
And then ATC said, no problem, Mike. Now that's what I call wrestling. Yeah.
I wish I could add more, information about wrestling. I'm just not that much of a fan anymore.
Yeah, well, I've been like putting a video series together. I mean, you can probably, I don't know if you've gone back, and I call it Squared Circle Calendar. I started in January '75. I'm gonna be doing the latest episode from February. What I've been doing is I've been going back and watching like some of the old wrestling shows. I've been doing kind of a little commentary, historical retrospect, talking about some of the major stories that were happening in each month. I was going to try to do February 76 this past weekend, but I just got, Saturday was just kind of one of those days. You know how sometimes when you really get into something, like on Friday nights when we've been getting into the comics, you you have all that excitement, you're like real hyper and all that, and then there's it's like you had that big letdown the next day. And then on Sunday, I was going to try to get to it, but then got distracted by other things. So, but I am going to get to it sooner rather than later. It's just a matter, getting to it. But, you can always go back and look over like some of the older stuff, if you want to look back on some of the history and find out some interesting things like how Ric Flair ended up changing his whole wrestling style from a power-based wrestler to more of a cardio technical wrestler, and the reason behind why he had to do that. So, what prompted him to do that? So, I'm hearing a beep beep. Are you printing something there, Toys?
It's my 3D printer. I'm in my little workstation. You might hear that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What are you printing?
No problem. I was just acknowledging it. I was just
okay. I am printing.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm printing he stands. I'm doing an order for somebody. They bought quite a fair bit. So I'm going through 3 different types of spools. I've got translucent green, purple, and gray. And it's taken me quite a while because it's translucent, it's brittle, and if I mess up cleaning it up in the wrong way, I am going to have to start another one all over again. And they're 2 hours and 40-something minutes each.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dave, it's a good thing that you came back to us because
Dave's awesome.
Because yeah, and I'm happy that you're back. Because on Fridays, of course, we're still doing the historical comic retrospect, and as I mentioned the other day, we're going to be doing a bit of a format change to being more of a more of a specific format. Whereas before I was doing more of a generalized one because that was happening throughout the 30s there. But we're gonna be like
Blueprinter.
we're gonna be doing like more like we're gonna be focusing on like world building, canine establishment, and all that. So some good stuff. And then of course, don't forget this Friday, guys, when I have Batgoat in with me. We're gonna be doing a special Siegel Schuster um, marathon. As I'm gonna be reading. I'm gonna be, of course, reading over. I got some private chats. I should probably tend to that. I'll tend to those in a moment after I finish making.
Oh, if that was for me, it was just
So
if it was something I put down in a private chat, it's just me taking notes because I don't have any pen and paper with me. Sorry.
okay. Well, I'll look at it and see what you wrote in a sec here after.
Okay.
But basically, yeah. Beep beep bop. Back go. Level out. Get my bots down. Level out. Okay. But anyways, as I was just trying to say here, we're gonna be doing more of a Siegel Schuster marathon in which I'll be reading, of course, Slam Bradley,
All right,
Federal
love
Man
Slam Bad.
Slam's the
featuring
man.
Steve Carson,
Slam.
Doctor Occult, and Radio Squad. So, let's see these. Okay. Oh yeah, I see your private note here.
Yeah. The first one is just when you asked about favorite wrestlers. I put
Okay.
just typing stuff down, and I answered Letta's question, and that was it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I see that. Back to the comments as we. And you were using you were more or less using the private chat as kind of a notepad.
Yeah, but if you want to read them, you can. I don't mind.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
I didn't even know about those.
It was just something I was going to say anyways if it came up, and so I was like, all right.
Okay, maybe I will just read them often. I can't highlight them, but
That's fine.
probably because they're private chats.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimate Warrior was great. Not for skill, but for the easy monologue.
It sounds like you're talking into a jug.
Well, okay, the thing is, it's kind of very small print, so I have to I have to really.
If you want, I can read them off for you. Right?
Yeah.
Why don't you do that?
Okay. Ultimate Warrior was great, not for his skill, but for his energy and his monologues, aka tangents. Favorite 90s wrestler was Stone Cold. Why? Because I said so. The Rock, because the people needed their champion.
I hated The Rock.
I guess you answered Leto's question. Had a couple others there.
I think go ahead.
Yes, Leto. WWE changed the contract without notice, and they require the talent to fork over the money made, even if they use their real life names. WWE is saying that they own the talent like slaves.
Yeah, well, because and sometimes that is the case. Like this is more prevalent a little, years ago.
Yeah.
Where if they created you notice like for example with Ed Leslie. Now that's the real name of the guy that everybody knows is Brutus Barber-Beefcake. You remember when I don't know if you guys remember this, but you remember when he went to WCW and they at first were calling him like the Butcher?
No.
You guys remember that?
I'll agree with Leto. I don't remember either.
I don't. Sorry.
Well, basically they kind of said, well, no, you can't. Like it happened also with John Tenta, who was the Earthquake in the WWF. then he went to become Avalanche, and then he had to become the Shark because they were saying that no, we own the right. That's too close to the actual copyright.
Anything
So
similar to the name, it's got to be off limits.
Wait, which one was the last name again?
The shark?
Oh, okay. I thought you said Shard.
For Shard. I would have watched the Shard.
No, Shard.
Stands for He-Man figures. Let's see. Okay.
Oh,
Slam.
shit.
When Mike hits it big one day, we're gonna need Slam Bradley merch.
Ooh, I agree.
Out of Mike range. How about you?
Yeah, I just
let's
remembered something.
I agree. I agree. Let me finish these and then I'll let you go. Let's see. I agree with the Stone Cold thing, and then sure, yeah, totally member. All right, Leto. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, I just remembered something. Isn't there like a Twitch streamer that goes by the name of Paige, and she's still in the WWE?
Well, I don't know if she's a Twitch streamer. There was a former WWE female wrestler by the name Paige, but she was forced to retire, I think, because she got hurt.
Yeah, she hurt her neck, I think it was.
Yeah.
Seems to be common.
Because I follow her on Twitch, and I think she still has the WWE label on her Twitch. I mean, on her Twitter or whatever.
They're probably taking 40 to 60% of her revenue then.
Even her porn video?
Yep. They're going to claim it. They said anything that has her face is theirs. So it's modern day slavery in their own way.
That's what steams. That's what steams me. I'm like, they keep her, but they always gave shit to China when that happened.
Yeah, I agree. China was pretty awesome, and they fucked her over so bad.
Yeah.
Sorry for the swear.
Well, yeah, the whole thing with China was due in large part. It was like there was like kind of a backstage love triangle going on there between her, Triple H, and Stephanie, and they decided to play it out on WWE, WWF, WWE TV. Well, look who's finally here.
Right? Damn you, Woody.
Hey guys, sorry I'm.
Hello, Woody. We
late.
Missed you.
A Woody news spot. I had actually decided to do this live stream because of you. Now I know. Wow, we're at an hour 33 already, so we're already towards the end of the show. But I remember you had said when you were on here the other day that we hadn't talked much about wrestling, so I decided to do an open forum tonight, hoping you would have been here.
Yes, so he had to settle for us.
Well, no, I still wanted you guys in here. If I could, I'd have everybody in here. If you guys would all come in, but it's cool. I mean, I think we've had a pretty good discussion, overall. And
yeah, it's been a good night.
Yeah, it's still nice. I wish I got my camera working though. I still need to figure that out.
Yeah. I mean, well, at least you were able to get in here, right?
Yeah. I just don't want to show my. Obviously, I don't want to show my face. I want to get. I want to put this avatar over there to get it working.
The avatar you use on your streams.
There's an avatar.
Yeah, there's a way to do it. I just needed more time to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, actually, what's kind of funny because I sent the message to Toys this morning. I was going to try to send one to you, and I sent one to Beckett, of course. I was going to try to send one to you, but you don't have a.
I have a Twitter.
You don't have a DM thing, or
he has a Twitter and a Minds.
Yeah. You need to get on Minds, Mike.
Yes, I said that, and he's like, I don't want to go on any more social media because it brings up my bad side.
But Minds is great. There is no bad side there.
Yeah, it's all fun.
Yeah, I killed it. Being a great stream. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Becca.
Yeah.
He's lying.
Great format. Do more of these.
Taking a compliment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I may, Woody. I mean, as I said, I decided to do this in part because,
Woody
I
requested it.
mean, yeah, in a way, you kind of requested. Now, normally, in basically, this is what Fridays was supposed to be.
Oh, the
Hence the
open mic
name
night.
Friday Night Forum. Yeah.
Yeah.
You notice how I subtitled it Friday Night Forum?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's because this is what it was. That's what it was originally designed to be. But initially, of course, I was hoping to have other YouTubers like Tug and Yellow Flash. It just didn't work out that way. And then we kind of morphed it into doing the comic history retrospect. So
Hey, Anon's here.
Hey there, Anon. Do you have a
let's
tonight?
get caught up on some of these chats here. Good to see you, Woody. The stream would have been all you, brother. Yeah,
Yeah.
since he was the one who
Yeah.
kind of suggested the idea in a way. Is
I
Big
like
Daddy
hearing Sage's
Toys
wisdom and
new to
stories.
the channel? No, Big Daddy Toys is ATC. Solid. Action Toys channel. Been fun
The
so
name is
far.
very confusing.
Us medics, called Operation Manager Big Daddy level. It always kind of funny how Batgoat just used the term medics there. There was an actual tag team in the late
medics.
60s called the Medics. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was an actual tag team called and let's see now. And I think I got another private chat in there, so but let's get through these first and I'll look at that real quick. Hey, just stopping in real quick with company at the moment. Okay, well, good to hear you, man. I got absorbed into the live streams from Brooklyn Center.
Oh,
Yeah.
the heartbreak.
Yeah. And of course with that you know they're gonna be crying for defunding the police again. You know that coming. Just ripped one IT2 from Woody. I shall smoke to that.
It's always a good time to smoke to anything.
Evening, everyone. Evening.
Yeah, I'm streaming tomorrow, Solid. Oh, Solid
Woody,
asked
my
if I was streaming
boy.
tomorrow.
Woody, my boy, has been activated for riot control. He texted my daughter, and he gonna be a sleepless night. NMT, TT, hey Anon, and just saw you over on RGE stream. Oh, yeah. Hey. Oh, okay then. My buddy must be on my PC or his phone. Are you okay? And then you just answered that, Leto. We share Google accounts. Little secret. T stands for 3. Okay. So now let me see these newer.
32?
Okay. Oh yeah, I guess you made a China comment there, ATC. In
China was
private chat.
actually China was actually in a relationship with Tupac at one time.
Yeah, she was, and they did the porn video.
Yeah,
and it was the end of Beat Generation X. I was like, no, and then Tupac disappeared, and then appeared once for a special event, and then he was gone again. I was like, no, it was so sad.
He's appearing for those awards for I can't think of it now. They just the Hall of Fames.
Hey, sweetie. Sorry, that's my wife.
Leto, Solid has something to say to you here. Would you like to read it?
Oh, I apologize. Wait. I see. I'm probably going to take a break from streaming tomorrow. And then he goes on with, I apologize for my abysmal performance in Resident Evil 6. It's fine, Solid. I still enjoyed it.
It's fine. We just blame you.
Only half listening at the moment. And Solid said to you, you mean X-Pac? Yeah, I think that's who. Sean Waltman. Now, here's the thing. Sean Waltman, I personally believe could have been probably one of the greatest junior heavyweight, cruiserweight, light heavyweights of his generation if he had focused on that. He ended up becoming a great tag wrestler as well, and but he would have been his athletic ability would have taken him far as a junior heavyweight / cruiserweight / I mean, he did win the cruiserweight title once or twice in WCW and the light heavyweight title, I think, once in WWF. At 6', 212 pounds, he had martial arts skills. He started out, he went through a number of different names. Sean Waltman did. X-Pac is probably his most famous, but he started out back in, I think it was like 89, 90 with the Pro Wrestling America promotion up in Minnesota. He started out his first couple of years as the Lightning Kid. And he went down to Dallas there, wrestled for Global for a while there, was a light heavyweight champion there as well, where he had some legendary matches with Jerry Lynn over the titles, both in PWA and then when he came to the WWF in '93, he was the Kid. And then after beating Razor Ramon, he became the 1-2-3 Kid. And then he left the WWF, went to WCW, became 6 as a member of the NWO, then came back to WWF as X-Pac, as part of D-Generation X. And then, eventually he left the WWF in the early 2000s, eventually dropped the X. He became Pac. I
just find it funny. He just dropped the X.
Yeah,
yeah. He even wrestled out here in SoCal a couple of times for, I think, XPW even, or Lucha Underground, I think. XPW was kind of I guess the easiest way to describe XPW was like the West Coast version of ECW. It was actually run by porn promoter Rob Black.
Well, sorry.
XPW is Extreme Pro Wrestling. It's actually the company that Big Dick Dudley came to after he left ECW.
I just realized he's gonna have a lot of Hall of Fames. X-Pac.
Yeah. So Leto, you wrote something here. I guess that's solid. You want to read it?
Oh, I told him no. I haven't seen. Have you seen me play Solid? No, because he responded. I bet you think I play like DSP level, scrub. I'm like, nope.
No, he actually does pretty good. Like if you're there and no one else is watching, he does everything flawlessly. Then when people start showing up, he's like paying attention to chat, and then he messes up, and then
that's what's funny.
It's quite obvious. Yeah.
You can see him pause while he's typing.
And as you notice too, I always come in and I try to say hi for a few minutes, and I like that Yakuza game. That the game looks pretty.
That was
cool.
Fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, Leto only ever he spent one stream 4 hours in there just playing, trying to get down the stupid claw game. I'm like, come on, just tap it, just tap, and then he's like, oh, I got it, guys. It's like, no, I'm like, no, it's gonna fall down. It's like,
it's addictive.
And I'm like, oh, of course.
It surprisingly has good physics.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that game sometimes. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, and I do know that I think Nick is streaming tonight, talking about some of the stuff going on in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, it looks like an interesting one too.
No, we know you're a real gamer. We just like to tease.
Yeah.
And then everything I've seen Solid play, he's so technical. He doesn't need any luck at all. How about the snowmobile segment in Jake's story of REG RE6 is playing legitimate pain.
Yeah.
Solid is a real gamer. We know this. Okay. So, anyways, guys,
Hey guys, a good question.
We're actually
Yeah,
at the
what is
hour.
it, toys?
I just got one question. What do you
Uh-huh.
call
Okay,
a
go ahead.
fat psychic?
A what?
Huh?
A fat psychic. What do you call a fat psychic?
Ooh.
Fat sidekick. I
A
don't
fat
know. What do you
sidekick?
call a
A
fat
fat psychic.
sidekick? I don't know.
I
What
call
do
him
you
a.
call a fat sidekick?
I call a fat psychic for chin teller. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh about that, but damn it.
That's a good one.
It took me a sec. I get it, but I guess you're trying. I guess you're trying to get an early start on Friday, right? Trying to see if you can maintain the championship there, right there,
Well,
toys.
last week, Drayton, I was like, I can't think of anything. Then the weekend popped on. I'm like, tight. I was like, oh, that sounds good. Okay, let's go with that. Tight.
That's great.
So Solid says, "I'm the penny on your train track." That's good. Ha ha ha! I'm glad this girl is in the. Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
I gotta go, y'all. All right. Well, thanks for dropping in, Anonymity. Have a good night, man. Be safe.
Good night, anonymity.
Toys
Yeah, good
owns the
luck.
trophy.
Well, sorry, I
I'll
didn't mean
catch you
smart.
later. Peace, Anon. All right, guys. Well, yeah, we probably should start winding down anyways because it's like we're coming up on an hour 47. So I think I'm going to start wrapping up here. So is everybody ready for this day in niche history?
Niche history.
Yeah, niche it up, niche king.
Yeah, and you guys can, of course, comment on some of this stuff as well. So, but let's see. There's a couple more chat that just came. I'm going to use at ATC. Solid saying Pat getting a blown out incoming history from Batgo. Yes, Nietzsche. Okay. So let me just remind myself of the things I'm looking at here 94, 2016, 96, and then 2011. Okay. So today being Monday, April the 12th, 2021. Let's take a look back at this day in niche history. And our first stop is going to be going back to 1994 here. On this date in 1994, the 390th issue of Amazing Spider-Man went on sale on this date for $1.50. It was 32 pages. The story was Behind the Walls, a 22-pager, written by Jake Mark DeMatteis, which I believe he was also one of the guys who was a contributor on the Spider-Man animated series in the 90s there. I saw his name. I think it's J.M. DeMatteis. Mark Bagley was the penciler. The inker was Randy Emberlin. The letterer was Joseph Rosen. And Bob Shern did the coloring. And it was reprinted in Amazing Spider-Man number 390 Deluxe, 1994. So again, the 390th issue of Amazing Spider-Man went on sale on this date back in 1994, which was like 27 years ago today. Let's see. And I just got a 30-minute notification. I just saw the 30-minute notification on YouTube for Nick's stream. So anyways, let's move on to the next piece of niche history.
I'll be honest, Mike. I don't mind listening to you into Nick's stream. Like, I've been a subscriber to Nick since he was before he hit 10,000. I think it was around 7,000 something that I subscribed.
Mm-hmm.
And the content is a lot different than it used to be. Like, he used to be like knowledge. Now it feels like entertainment, and I don't like to feel like I'm forced to be entertained. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. Well, is it that you prefer are you saying that you prefer my streams because of the fact I do go more into knowledge and I try to like?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I mean,
That's
I do try to put some entertainment, like when I'm reading the comics, for example, I will put the entertainment in there because that's good too. But ultimately, a lot of there's a lot of it's like we talk about like a lot of this cancel culture stuff and a lot of this, and and yes, now and again, to make fun at their stupidity is fine, but
Mhm.
constantly doing it becomes old real fast.
yeah.
It becomes old real
Mhm.
fast. If you guys notice, well, one thing I tried to do more positive thing because
Mhm.
seeing what everybody else is doing, I mean, I wanted to do more of a positive. I liked having like conversations like we had tonight, you know, and you notice even when I do my news coverage, um, when I go through those articles, I look for more like I look more for like release information.
Mhm.
I still will cover like some, but I don't. I'm not big on like mainstream stuff. I like to focus more on the niche stuff because I think that stuff is more fun. You know.
Mhm.
So that's just me. But anyways, so now I'm gonna head up to back to 1996, 25 years ago today. As on this date, 1996, the Walt Disney film James and the Giant Peach, based on Roald Dahl's novel, 1961 novel, was released on this day, starring, of
Good
course,
movie.
Paul Terry as James, so among others. So on this date in 1996, the Walt Disney Pictures movie James and the Giant Peach premiered um, premiered in movie theaters. Um, that kind of look. I guess I got a couple more. Got some more um, chats here. So back up saying the chiropractor cracks his knuckles. Solid said Anon taking another trip to Pound Town. Oh god.
Ooh.
Anyways, and then there's an emoji from Bat Goat. There's a lot of niche knowledge in that noggin. I guess he's referring to me.
yeah.
Um, he has changed over the last 2 years for sure, but Nick is still King Daddy Grift.
the
All
Grift
right.
King. Okay, I agree with that. Yeah.
Well, I actually did peek in on a stream because I don't know if you guys knew this, but Nick was streaming last night because apparently Ron and a few others are going after him over the
yeah, in the chat
GoFundMe
and
again.
stuff. Yeah.
Kind of stupid, but
Like clockwork.
Nick plays the room, matching or meaning chat dictates the streams, and he makes good money doing it. I'm okay with
Yeah,
that.
I agree. Yeah, it's
Just
not
my
always
thought.
my. I agree, Batgoat, but it's not always my cup of tea. And sometimes I'll
Hmm.
watch something else just because. Like I'll watch a drunk stream just because it's hilarious.
Roald Dahl was a real spy in World War II. Pretty cool. Huh.
hmm
Yeah, so, anyways, as we get ready to move on to the next piece of niche news here.
I actually like that photo. I look really good in it. I'm sorry, but I just have to self promote a little bit.
What, the one you have on now?
Yeah, I look good. Mm,
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
yeah. I sent you the one before I grew out the mutton stash had a giant stash just on its own. I was like,
I guess it must have just been started growing because it
yeah,
look a little thin. Now it looks pretty good.
yeah.
Okay, so on this date back in 2011, 10 years ago today, DLE had premiered the following. I believe let me just double check here. Were these actual series or were they just other series? Oh, television series. Yeah. So on this day, DLE back in 2011, 10 years ago today, DLE um, premiered the following anime: Hato no Oya Mesan, Honto ni Ara Ray by Sensei, Puneko.
Poon. Poon. I'm like, oh, Poon. It's gonna be Poon.
No, Puneko. Neko is
All I
a
heard was
Japanese word
Poon.
for
I'm like, ooh. It's Poon time.
yeah. Yeah. Anyways, Rinchi.
Bunch of kids over here.
Rin, Rinchi Exploded Chan, excuse me, and Weekly Shimako. So those animes debuted on this date 10 years ago from DLE. And finally, on a bit of a more sadder note, did you guys see any of the not the WWE's ECW, but the old ECW from like the 90s and 2000s?
Oh, when it first started up?
Yeah.
When it had Big Papa Pump and stuff like that? Yeah.
No. ECW, not WCW.
Oh,
ECW.
sorry. ECW, no.
What, like the Sandman and Raven?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
I only
You
watched
saw a
it
little
come
bit
on
of it?
channel 31
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit of it.
and 36.
Okay. So
Yeah.
on this date 5 years ago today, a day after his 44th birthday, Jonathan Reckner, better known to wrestling fans as Balls Mahoney, passed
I
away on
remember
this
that name.
date. Balls Mahoney? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that
Um,
name. Yeah. I don't know why.
Well, let's see. He came
Good
in
name.
ECW. He came out to the song "Big Balls," and in fact, in
Yeah.
1997, during his early days in ECW, he would team up with Axel Rotten, as they became known informally as the Hardcore Chair Swinging Freaks. But on this date 5 years ago, Balls Mahoney passed away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me go down to. So this is what they had to say about that. On April 12th, 2016, one day after his 44th birthday, Reckner, better known to most fans, as I said, as Balls Mahoney, died suddenly at his home in Spring Lake Heights, New Jersey. He was watching Jeopardy and answering trivia questions before laying on his side to get more comfortable. Moments later, his wife noticed he was unconscious and called 911 before attempting CPR. However, he had already passed before medics arrived. His death was first reported via Twitter by Johnny Candido. Other sources later confirmed it. In case Candido seems like a familiar name to you, Johnny Candido, who's a professional wrestler as well, is the younger brother of the late Chris Candido. So, and ECW has somewhat of a sad legacy because there are a few of their guys who have actually passed away over the years. So, were you about to say something, ATC?
No, I was
burping.
It actually cut off.
Yeah.
So I couldn't hear the burp.
Oh, have I been doing that? I'm sorry.
But that's so sad that he died that way.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of peaceful though.
Yeah. Well, he was 6'2", 350 pounds. I mean, I don't know if you remember Balls. He was a pretty big guy. You know, I think he was like 6'2", 350. He and Axel Rotten, even though they themselves never got the tag team titles, he won the ECW tag titles apparently a couple of times. Once with Spike Dudley and once with Masato Tanaka. But yeah. So, anyways, let's see what these there were last couple. That goes saying he wasn't a bang bang spy. He just wined and dined foreign women and gave info to the British SAS. Actually, that means he was a bang bang spy. Okay, kind of a James Bond-esque kind of guy. And then Action, this is your comment. You wanna share with the group?
As he lay there and turned over, he was like, "They should have answered."
Right?
What is the? Damn it! And then that would go.
So, okay, so
What is the?
so
Let's
with
go.
all that with all that being said, let's see, we're right at the 2 hour mark. So I thank everybody for being here. Tomorrow night we'll be back to the news format. Another good thing about doing this tonight too is that it gives a little more time for see if bounding into comics will get instead of just having like 2 or 3 stories, maybe they might have 3 or 4 or even 5 stories to go through rather than doing more of that, not as much from CDR. But I thank you guys for being. I thank you guys for joining me as well on the for the
It's been a lot of fun, Mike.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
interesting.
Well, I like doing these things. I'd like to do these. Obviously, every now and again, I'd probably like to do these a little bit more. Originally, as I
Hmm.
said, Friday Night Forums was the kind of with other YouTubers coming in. It just didn't pan out that way. So, but
Yeah.
I might I'll check out the replay, Mike. Okay. Peace, fam. And don't forget, Friday night, of course, Batgo tonight we'll be doing the comics
Mm.
retrospective. We'll be looking at August. We'll be kind of the segue into kind of the format change in which I'll be focusing more specifically on specific companies and getting into more the world building, pain in the establishment. I mean, you guys like my knowledge on wrestling. Well, you guys are gonna like digging into. I think you guys are gonna like digging into some of the how like getting into like some of the like in DC in particular, like the multiverse and stuff like that. But like when I start talking about Marvel and stuff, I'll be learning that along with you guys because I hadn't done any previous research on Marvel. A lot of my work has been more DC and the companies that they
Good
bought up.
luck.
So, well, Marvel wasn't all that bad earlier on. Like a lot of this SJW garbage is just. I think it's been just more or less the last 5 years, 2016, since Final Crisis happened in the DCU. So, but anyways, guys, I'm glad you guys joined me tonight. I'm happy that everybody joined me. I hope you guys, of course, remember to give me some likes and shares, help get the algorithm up and all that. And I will see you all tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye bye, guys.